Welcome to Mel's Diner, a place where stories and songs build community and connections. My name is Matthew Merson, and each guest at Mel's Diner heads over to the Jukebox, selects really important, sentimental, and valuable songs to them, and then shares those stories of how each song gained that personal and powerful meaning in their life. So let's order some food, a cup of coffee, and grab a seat at the counter and listen to some of those amazing stories and songs. I'm so glad you're here. Well, hello and welcome in to Mel's Diner. I am so glad you are here. You have either discovered this place for the first time or you are a returning guest to Mel's Diner. I'm just so stoked that you are here. I hope you are able to stay and listen to this whole episode because we have an amazing interview for you today. My dear friend, longtime friend, John Meinen from Vermont, stopped into the diner. And John and I have known each other for a lot of years. We've gone on many trips across the country together. We have fished many rivers together. John's just a good friend that I have spent a lot of time, just he and I in remote places, in some wild places and very beautiful places, camped outside, slept in trucks. Just John and I have a camaraderie, a relationship that's built on adventure and trusting each other in these areas with our lives and with our safety. And he's like a brother to me. Yeah, he just cares about me like family. So I'm so glad that he's here. John went to the Jukebox like all of our guests, and he picked some songs. We're going to talk about family song traditions, how music was a huge part of his life as a kid with the family gathered around a piano playing Edelweiss, music from The Sound of Music is beautiful. And then as he grew up, how he discovered his own identity and how certain songs helped him curate like his identity or find who he was in this world. And eventually like traveling and understanding that this world is big and feeling wanderlust and just the songs that went with him as he went on these trips. And then we get into a beautiful conversation about how certain songs that have showed up in certain parts of John's life were like prayers. They took on a meaning, or the lyrics or the speaker of the song was saying things that John felt on a spiritual level, and how they were prayers, and how some songs as they entered their life were like answers to those prayers. So music as prayers, music as answer to prayers. Absolutely beautiful. And then at the end, we picked some songs that just remind him of the most important people in his life, like his wife and his daughter and his son, and his friends. It's an amazing interview. John is an amazing storyteller and speaker, and I'm just really excited for you to listen to this episode. All of John's musical picks are going to be in the show notes. You'll see there John's Jukebox picks. There will be his 10 songs that he chose curated in that playlist. Just hit the link. You'll be able to listen to all of those songs and listen to them in light of those stories that he shared. And before we get into John's episode, you'll also see Mel's picks. Mel's picks are 5 songs that I just kind of jamming out to this week or have been enjoying recently and want to share with you. So 5 songs from Mel's picks. The first one is The Velvet Underground with Ride Into the Sun. This is the 2014 mix, or 1969-2014 mix. Just a cool song. I hope you're driving while you listen to these songs, because there's a little bit of a theme here. Just all good songs to drive to. It's the middle of July here, and it is hot, but driving at night when it cools down is just so awesome. So all these songs kind of fit with really nice summer night drives. The second song is Searching for Soul Part 1 by Jake Wade and the Soul Searchers. This is a deep cut. This is a Michigan-based soul band. There's not very much out there about Jake Wade and the Soul Searchers, but this song is just, this is a vibe. This is cool. The next song is Spout Hole by the Naked Souls. Now, this is an amazing track. It's a little bit of a long one, but it's just beautiful, and it fits with any drive, any scenery, I think, that you are looking at out your window as you're driving down the road. I think I heard the song this week, and it's really cool. The Naked Souls, Spout Hole. Then the fourth track, which I think may be the greatest, nighttime driving song. I mean, I guess that's, in my opinion, I should say, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest summer driving songs. It's Strange Overtones by David Byrne. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much cooler, funkier, just everything kind of strange working together in perfect harmony to make something amazing and beautiful. It doesn't get any more better than David Byrne and whatever he can create. But Strange Overtones, oh my goodness, maybe in my opinion, the greatest kind of windows down driving song. And just to end out Mel's picks with another really cool driving song, but also one that kind of ties into what you're going to hear John talk about travel and adventures and wanting to go on adventures and going on adventures and finding yourself and finding your identity, giving things up. Anyway, Stranger in a Strange Land by Leon Russell. This playlist, I hope you are able to listen to all 5 of these while you're driving. If not, you listen to them however you want, but I hope you enjoy them. But I do hope you listen to John's songs first and listen to this episode, listen to him tell these stories, listen to his songs. Because when we listen to his songs in light of his stories, it's like we build a little connection with each other, with John. And the more connections we have, the more community that we have. So, all right, let's go into Mel's Diner and hear John talk about these amazing stories and songs. Welcome to Mel's Diner, my friend and brother.
Good to be here. That's good to be here.
Why don't you tell us where you just drove in from?
I came in from Burlington, Vermont. It's my home, has been for 14 years. I'm excited to be at Mel's. Does Mel's have a zip code, or is this a magical place
Mm.
that we
Well, thank you for coming into Mel's and asking me a question. Mel's has, in my mind, Mel's is in the desert. I'm gonna say probably the Nevada desert,
hmm
mostly east side of the Sierras, southern Nevada. That's where it is. What is the zip code? I don't know if anyone knows a zip code down in
Yeah,
that
we got
part
to
of the
keep that
country.
secret.
It's
Yeah,
uncharted territory.
that's right.
But Mel's can be wherever it is
Mel's
for
is right
you,
here. It's
you know?
right here. It's right here right now.
Right here. Mel's is a diner without a place. And it always has a time right now. Anyway, but your name is John Meinen, right? You are John Meinen,
hmm
coming in from Burlington, Vermont, where you lived for 14 years, and we've known each other going on 10 years.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And you and we have a shared love. Well, we have a lot of shared loves, music being one of them. But you and I've actually fished with you more than anybody else on this planet, I think. I spent more time standing in a river with you, John, than
I
anyone
think
else
that's
alive.
I think that I'm glad that it's true for me too. I haven't been cheating on you.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
um,
no, I've spent more time in a river with you as well.
uh,
I remember the first time we went fishing. Do you remember this? I
mhm.
met you at the Richmond Park and Ride, and I was drinking coffee out of just a cup, like a mug. Iron and Wine was playing on a CD.
And it
You know,
was love at first sight.
there it was.
I do remember that. I do remember that because I remember being so impressed because I too drink coffee out of a mug while driving. Yeah. But we're not here to talk about fishing. That's a different podcast. We're here to talk about music and your love of music and then what songs are important to you, John. But
hmm
before we get into that, we got this magic jukebox. Before we go over and pick the magic jukebox, I want to hear like what was your first like when did you first start loving music? Was it as a kid? Was music a big part of growing up? Were you a teenager? Like what's your story with music? When did it first start for you?
I feel like there's always been music playing in my life, like from my earliest memories. Like there was just like a kind of like a soundtrack to like my childhood years. Like Tracy Chapman, James Taylor. Fleetwood Mac. You'll hear track one on the playlist, Gord and Lightfoot. Like there's just certain sounds and certain artists that like we're always playing. But my family's pretty musical too. My mom's a music teacher at a preschool. My aunt's an opera singer. Family gatherings would often be around a piano, and somebody would be playing at the piano, and people would be singing, and that feels pretty charmed, to be honest.
And this was in Virginia, Northern Virginia, where you grew up?
Yeah, so I grew up in Northern Virginia, just outside of DC. So my dad's side of the family lives in Canada. That's where I was born. I was born just outside of Toronto, but I grew up in Virginia. And for a time, my mom and she's one of four siblings. I call them Oma and Opa. We all lived really close to each other. And so I just had a real sense of being part of a big family and a close family for a lot of my life. And really until I left for college.
What songs were being played on the piano? Was this like I imagine like Christmas?
Yeah, so like musicals, my both sides of the family came from the Netherlands after World War II in the 50s. They one in mom's side immigrated to the States, and my dad's side of the family immigrated to Canada. But the story of like the sound of music and Edelweiss, like that song, just became almost like a family anthem. Like that would almost always be played, at least in
Wow.
my memory. Like that song would be sung every time we would get that side of the family together. It was just it captured the sense of defiance against, well, I mean, my grandparents were teenagers, like young, like in their 20s going through World War II, but it's just a sense of like, and Nazi occupied Holland. So I think they saw themselves as part of like, not raising a Heil Hitler, or, just kind of living in like some defiance. And I think just too, that big family and a musical family, like there's just something, I don't know. There's something about that particular story and that particular musical that has always just really resonated with my family. And it's funny, like I live now, the Von Trapps ended up in Stowe, Vermont. So that's just a kind of a cool circle has kind of completed itself a little bit. They don't know anything about us, but we know a lot about them. Oh,
When you yeah, when you go like cross country skiing or when you're up at the Von Trapp Lodge, do you think about that? Like is it like your time as a kid,
I do. No, I can't
singing?
not think about it.
Wow.
I'm like even like on my grandparents' tombstones, it's like bloom and grow forever. It's like a lyric from Edelweiss.
Wow.
Um, yeah. So
That's cool, man.
yeah, they would play that. I think my sister, she was really into Judy Garland musicals, and so Rogers and Hammerstein, I think, like who did a lot of the music for Sound of Music, but they also did a lot of other musicals. Like that was just popular in the family. Like so, I mean, it wasn't necessarily, it's not the music I was picking out, or like that I was naturally gravitating towards, but like that kind of music was sometimes in the background too.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's not maybe necessarily those songs, but the idea of just as a kid, you're in real time seeing like music and
Yep.
family and song and food
Yep.
like combined. I mean, cementing those things together in your mind, like that. What a beautiful image. Yeah. What an
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it was my mom's dream that like we would learn how to play the piano. And I was talking to a neighbor. I told him, I was like, there, I know there's some like religious circles where like a kid goes through like confirmation class. As soon as they get confirmed, like they never go to church ever again. And for me, it was like kind of the equivalent of that with piano, whereas like my mom really wanted me to play a piece of music for Elise, like Beethoven. She really wanted me to play that particular song. And I got to the point where I was actually able to play that piece of music at a recital. And as soon as I could play that piece, I never touched the piano ever again.
Yeah.
Like it was just like I had been confirmed, and I was like, I was just never,
Wow.
I was done.
But you can
Um,
play chopsticks now, like
oh,
nobody's
dude,
business.
it's
Deet, deet, deet. Yeah.
yeah, Mary had a little lamb chopsticks.
Wow.
I'm good on that.
I'm sure that's one of your mom's favorite memories is you
So she's so
playing
proud of
for
me.
Elise. Yeah. She still shows the
Uh,
neighbors when they come over for tea. So what's music like now in your house?
so we have a turntable. and we have kind of like, I don't know how many like records we've got. It's probably maybe 30 or so, but we've tried to just kind of curate a collection of music that our kids can just pull off the shelf and just be like, yeah, like any of these you can play at any time. Like it's like this is good music. Rather than them just like saying like, hey, can we just take our phone and like just listen to playlists? Like we want them to engage with like an album and yeah, like right now Ray LaMontagne is spinning. It's great, man. I think her kid like actually I got to give credit to my mom. She got my daughter Willa. I don't know for what birthday it was, but she had got her, it's like a cheap record player, and she had got her a Little Mermaid record. And it's when I realized what she was giving my daughter for her birthday, I was like, you can't. And I ran to the record store and I got Sergeant Pepper's. And I
Oh,
told her,
Lonely Heart. Yeah.
you have to open this before you open that. So that she could always say that the first record she ever
Yeah.
got was the Beatles, Sergeant Pepper's, and not
Amazing.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, it started until then we didn't have a turntable, and we started getting Willa a record for her birthday and for Christmas. And the idea was like by the time she's 18, she'd probably have like 24 records that she could go to college with or like have as an adult
Yeah.
and just be like, this is kind of like a musical canon that I have from my childhood. And that was kind of the idea. I think she's now kind of getting, it's like one record a year. And it's kind of like who's is who's at this point. Like we're just kind of like all listening to it.
Sure. Yeah.
That birthday set into motion actually something very sweet for our family. I mean, it's all magic, isn't it? Like just Spotify, Mel's Diner, like this magic jukebox, like you can listen to any song in the world. I mean, that's magic. But so like you have like this black disc and it's this needle spins around this black disc and it's able to pull like these sounds from the past. And like like a symphony isn't like it just doesn't make any sense. I'm sure a scientist could explain it to me, but even then you're like, yeah, magic is just a better explanation than the science.
Yeah, and actually, like if you kind of knew how it would work,
It, it,
it would
it's
like take the magic away. Yeah.
it's insane, but it's really fun to just watch it go around and around and around and like actually hear the music come out of the thing.
Yeah,
It's just a magical experience.
absolutely.
So,
So do you always
uh,
have so you probably don't always have records playing, but like do you always have music going on in your house or like
no, not all the time. I mean, sometimes I'm just like, I just need some peace and quiet. There's definitely times where like it's typically when I'm cooking dinner. Yeah, I think there's certain times a day that lend itself more to like music. It's kind of like the weekends are certainly like there's a vibe. I think too summertime. There's certain seasons perhaps. I like if it's fall, it's like Fleet Fox season. You got to get that on.
hmm,
Winter, yeah, of course you've got the Christmas songs, Christmas albums, but there's other types of music too, I think that just play well when it's just cold outside. We're kind of in like slamming, screen door season right now, where like the doors, like always one door seems to be open, and it just kind of you play some music a little bit louder,
hmm,
because
cool.
it's almost like you want to hear it while you're like grilling,
Oh yeah. Oh,
and
for
and there's
sure.
certain things too. You're just like this feels more. Um, I don't know. I don't. I think certain seasons just call forth certain tunes, but
Absolutely. I agree. There's a remember that movie, The Rookie? It's like a Disney movie with Dennis Quaid,
yeah.
and he was
Well, I
like a
don't. I
pitcher.
mean, I remember it. I can picture it, but I don't. It's not like I think about the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah. It's not like this great film, but anyway, there's this line in it where they're sitting at a diner actually in Texas, and one of the guys play. It's like in this, I think it's summertime. It's like June, and the guy plays a Christmas song by Nat King Cole, like on the right
Mm.
jukebox actually, and the guy's like, I don't know, Daryl, it's like it's June. Why are you playing that song? And he goes, man, that song's too good just to listen to one time a year. Which is kind of funny, but there's kind of a point to it, like we listen to this music at a certain time of year and it's really good.
Mm.
It is a good song, but like when it's in the right season,
Yeah,
specifically Christmas songs, it's like
yeah.
But
No, it's
anyway,
funny. Like Willa, she created like a Sound of Fall playlist on
mm,
Spotify, and we were driving in the car this weekend, and she was playing it, and we're like, "Sweetheart, like this is a great fall song, but it's summer. We got to,
yeah,
we got,
we need something a little. We need
yeah,
something
yeah,
to.
we got to, you got to."
Yeah,
She got it.
I want to hear your songs, man. Thanks for sharing about growing up and how music was so important. And I think in my mind, it just seems like Little John, Meinen, like singing along to these songs, seeing his Oma and Opa and his aunts and uncles like singing this song, gather around this upright. I'm imagining an upright piano,
Mm,
tucked away,
mm.
kind of off the corner of the kitchen or something like that. And it's just like what a beautiful like installation of appreciation in you at that time, all the way up to now. Like you're trying to pass that along, honestly, to your daughter, the whole analog music, right? Like you don't have a piano because you can only play one song, and obviously she's not going to want to hear
Right.
for at least over and over again. But the sense of like analog
Yeah.
music, like interactive listening to music, like you are now giving the gift that you received as a kid to your daughter, which is so awesome, and your son as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
but I want to hear your songs. So why don't we head to the jukebox? But before you do, it's a question I ask everybody. It is the current time is 9:03 p.m. So
Yeah.
it's a late night drive for you. But what are you gonna eat? What are you gonna have at the diner? What's your order at a 9:03 p.m.?
Well, I have to ask, how's the fried chicken at Mel's?
Oh, it's the best. It's the
Well, dude,
best. I
let's get
mean,
some. Let's get some fried
I
chicken.
mean, we're in the desert, but it could be in the south, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they've got fried chicken in the desert.
They got fried chicken everywhere, man. Yeah. All right. So you want fried
I'm not.
chicken?
Yeah, you probably don't have cornbread
Oh,
in
we
the
got
in
two
the.
types.
All right. I'll get some of that. Give me some fried chicken, some cornbread, some mashed potatoes, and we got to put something green on that plate. Surprise me.
The only green we got is bok choy, baby bok choy.
Oh, then let's skip it. What kind of diner is this?
Oh man, that's my favorite green. That's Mel's favorite. That's the only kind he gets.
No, but yeah, and a chocolate shake for sure.
Ooh,
It's been a long day, man, on the road. It's
yeah,
9:03. I'm starving.
that sounds great. Like a meat and three, fried chicken.
Oh,
I'm gonna
dude.
surprise you with a different green. Meat and three
Yeah, well,
coming
that's what
up,
I'm thinking. Yeah,
and a
like a
chocolate
meat and
shake.
three. Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, I love this place.
Well, you while I just cooked up. Well, I got your. I should say I got the oil ready for your fried chicken. But you went over to the jukebox while I was doing that, and you got some songs. So how many songs did you pick?
I got 10.
You got 10. Awesome, dude. Well, let's get into it, man.
First pick is I've already alluded to him, Gordon Lightfoot singing Canadian Railroad Trilogy, which was track two on Gord's Gold. It's like his greatest hits album. Like that's the record that we had. That was the one that pretty much I heard so much of his music from that particular Gord's Gold album. Like his voice, Gordon Lightfoot's voice, really takes me back to my childhood. Like when he sings this particular song, it's not just that it transports me to my child. Like it takes me back to like even my p place of origin. He sings in this song about a Canada. Well, it starts like there was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild, majestic mountains stood alone against the sun, long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green, dark forest was too silent to be real. Those lyrics, I mean, it goes on from there. You hear about like the colonization of Canada and eventual like industrialization as like this railroad begins to kind of like sweep from the East Coast through the prairies and into the Rockies into the West. There's something about that, like even to this day, that just captures my imagination. I don't know, it's just very evocative for me. And it just when I go to northern places, like I was just fishing in Maine like a week ago, as I'm driving through like just kind of like boggy woods, like I'm playing this song. It just there's something about it that just fits the landscape, fits the mood. And it's just I think it's just very deep in my DNA, honestly. The song is deep in my DNA. So
Well, I know you as an adventurer. You've been in some pretty remote places, and I've been in some pretty remote places with you. And there is something mystical. You know, I think we're past magic. It's like mystical when you're in these spaces, especially in a natural environment. At least this is my experience. Like in a natural
Yes.
environment, you feel further and further away from like civilization, and
Yep.
you're more and more into the natural world. It's like, yeah, it's almost impossible to describe. I think I know
Yeah.
what you're trying to say, but when you have a song that allows you to think about those things or think about those feelings or even conjure up those feelings, it's
Yeah.
that's magic there for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he sings about like guys who are building this railroad. We know the poetry of like Robert Service, like in some of those far off places, like the Yukon or whatever it might be, building this railroad, like driving in these nails, and then like they're living on stew and they're drinking bad whiskey. And they're not, some of it's not for the pay. They just like, there's something about the work and just being out in the wild. I mean, I know it's not all romance. I mean, there's some of it's just hard, but I do think there's something about it. It calls to our imagination. I think too, he references place names in the song that for me were like clue, like you would go to like an atlas and you would like look up the names of like some of the places that he sung, and you're like looking at a map and you begin to almost like chart. You're like, what is that? You're like, what does that place look like? And then you listen to the other place name and you're like, oh, how are these places connected? And yeah, a real, in some ways, like a trip begins to actually, like an adventure begins to actually kind of form in your mind as a kid. I mean, it's just an amazing, almost like epic ballad song. It's great. Like I love this
What
song.
else can you say? It's
Yeah,
great.
I mean, it's
I think it's interesting too that because I don't think you've ever worked on a railroad, have you?
no,
Yeah. So
no,
like
but
it's almost like you're longing for something that you've never experienced, right? Like or even that time, like we can experience solitude in the places that we go to, but the Canada before the wheel, like we can't experience that. I mean, maybe there's
yeah,
places that are untouched, but it's cool that to me that like you as a kid, like you feel this pull to like, I need to get the atlas out and see where he's talking about.
yeah,
Um, and like this pull to a life or a place or an experience or the work that like of something that you haven't and probably will never like that specific thing, building that engineering feat of the railroad in this place. You know what I mean? Like something you're not going to do.
yep,
None of us are going to do. It's really cool. It's the power of that song.
yeah.
Um,
It's kind of like that Call of the Wild idea. That's just it's in me deep.
Amazing. Well, what do you got for number two?
So number two is the Verve Bittersweet Symphony. Story here, I think it's 1997. I'm a 15-year-old kid. This kid is kind of like growing up on songs like the Canadian Railroad Trilogy, sort of like this Call for the Wild, but growing up in a sheltered suburb, really, of DC. Um, and just kind of like in the Beltway, just kind of feeling pretty hemmed in, even as a teenager, just feeling that. I'm in high school at this point. I'm just surrounded by people. Just seems like everybody's just trying to do the same thing. Everybody's just trying to kind of conform to what's cool and listening to. It just feels like we're all just kind of in our ruts in some ways. And then I hear this song and the strings of this song like immediately. Like it's like the first thing that you hear, and it almost catches you off guard. Like, I found myself just almost like sitting up a little bit straighter, like, what is this? There's this like haunting beauty of this song that also just kind of stirs me still. I think for me, the song is really about kind of like breaking out of a mold. I mean, he's like wrestling like no change, I can change, I can change. Um, but I'm here in my mold. I think that's kind of the lyrics that attend that song, and it just really spoke to my like feeling of just being in high school. But I also just felt too like it was stirring within me too some of that same like just wanderlust, that wanting to just kind of break out. I love it. I also just this was still when MTV played music videos, and I just remember seeing this music video and Richard Ashcroft, who's like the lead singer for the Verve, he's like walking through like kind of like a cityscape that was like reminiscent of just kind of like the hustle and bustle of DC, and he's just like bumping into people, and he's like, I'm just everybody's kind of running around trying to do their thing, but he's set on a course and he's not deviating from it. Even as he's like bumping into people, he's like, I'm going where I'm gonna go. And that imagery with the music just captured, yeah, just it gripped me as a 15, 16-year-old. I still listen to this song.
Wow.
So
Like, did you felt that pull of like nonconformity, I guess, like as a 15-year-old
I,
year old kid, or like did this like open your eyes to the idea of nonconformity?
yeah, it made me want to break out. Like I think it was I so badly wanted to fit in, but I felt like in some ways I felt like I was in a bubble and I wanted to break out. And I feel like there's something about the strings speak to like a world beyond the bubble. It was almost like a siren song inviting me into something beyond.
That's awesome. I'm like pairing, I'm like juxtaposing this image with what you just talked about with Gordon Lightfoot, like the idea of there's this world out there that you know exists because you're a
Hmm.
kid with an atlas on the floor looking at these places, and now you're 15, and I have two kids. They're right in between those ages.
Hmm.
60, like the idea of now it's like there's a world that exists outside of me, like outside of, you know, how do I say
Hmm.
it? Like as a kid, there's this world that exists outside of where you're at that exists. But now you're a teenager, it's like maybe you forgot about that or something like, or it's like the world is just all around you and like it wasn't meeting your expectations or your needs, or that you knew that there was something more, right? And maybe these strings awoken that in you. It sounds like to me.
Yeah, the strings of that song are powerful. And for me, I think it's just like life in the Beltway and then almost like something beautiful like beyond it. And I think just too like it was stirring in me something like a longing for more. When I think about like some songs that really kind of like capture like the arc of my story, this is an important one.
I love it. I love how these first two songs, it's almost like priming the pump for your life of what's about to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I'm fortunate enough to know like part of your story as an adult, and yeah, some pretty cool stuff has happened. But do you want to move on to track three?
Yeah, let's do
Because I
it.
feel like the pump is being primed. Like, where are you at with track number three? Where are you at in your life? What's happening that this song became so important to you?
So the way we get by Spoon, it's just the epitome, I think, just of like youth, like reckless, don't give a crap kind of
Yeah.
youth. And it just, in some ways, I'm like, if there was a song that was going to kind of capture the vibe or the mood of my early 20s, it's this song, and I just love it. It's a great song by a great band.
And we don't have to get into too many stories from your early 20s. You don't want to. But I have my kids like as they're teenagers. I know I talk about them a lot, but they're getting to where they can be a lot more independent outside of the home, right? Like they've been
Yeah.
independent inside of my house for a long time. Now they're becoming independent outside of the house. That youthful abandonment, kind of somewhat just good, clean, mischievous kind of fun, like
Hmm. Yeah.
to me this song like kind of has that vibe. I think it's just like that, like living life to its full, just carefree. And I want that for my kids. I want that for my kids. I want that for a lot of youth. I'm sounding like an old man now, but like I want, like this should be like the soundtrack to all of our young adult life. Just some of us may have had too much fun, but that's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Like that's a soundtrack to like my late teens, early 20s.
Amazing. And then we got what's next?
We Never Change by Coldplay. So different different mood here for sure. This is Coldplay's debut album, Parachutes. This song gave voice to me. Like in 2000, my parents split up, and like it just felt like I didn't really have much of a home to go back to. And I just found that the song articulated just a lot of the longings in my heart, just wanting a place to live. I wanted simplicity. I just wanted like friends to be close by. I just think this was like the first time a song felt like a prayer. This is like the first time a song ever had that kind of a power for me of like articulating just like the real interior of my life.
And was it prompted by your parents' divorce? Or
Yeah, a lot of it
yeah.
had to do, I think, just the sense of loss that came with that. There's this push and pull in my life of like wanting to explore and also like wanting to be home. I think this song, more than most, captures that second part. Like I wanted to go out and to see so much and experience so much, but I also just want to feel like I fit in and I have a place and I've got a people. And I just didn't feel like I had any of that. Like honestly, for a lot of my life, I have felt sort of that on the outside of that. This song just kind of put into music and put into words what, like I said, it just was the interior of my life, and I was like, it just in retrospect, I wouldn't have said this at 18 years old of like this song is like a prayer, but that's kind of what it was and kind of is. And I think some of these other songs, the next song that we're going to get into. So the next,
Yeah, let's
here,
get into it.
let's get into it. So the next one is "Empty" by Ray LaMontagne. So this song, if I'm going to place it, I'm listening to this song almost on repeat as I'm leave the East Coast and I'm driving out west in a Toyota 4Runner with the intention of never coming back. Like I'm going out west where I think I'm just going to spend the rest of my life. I'm never going to come back to the East Coast. Everything that I had, like I had studied international affairs at the University of Colorado. I had kind of pursued a life in poverty alleviation, which kind of took me to some far flung places around the world. And I was burned out. And a relationship that I was in, a long-term relationship, it had ended and I'm trying to like my whole life feels just broken and I don't know what to do with the rest of my life. I spent 50 days in Joshua Tree with Outward Bound and I got hired to lead backpacking trips out in California. But let me back but as I'm driving out to as I'm driving out to training for that summer, I start that trip actually in Canada. I drive up from Virginia, I go up to Canada, and I kind of drop into the United States again around somewhere like near Minnesota. And I begin to kind of like continue my journey west. But I'm listening to this song a lot. I know you would love this song too. This is one of the most poetic songs I think has ever been written. Like the lyrics, the imagery of this song is just poignant and powerful. I never learned to count my blessings. I choose instead to dwell in my disasters. I walk on down the hill through grass grown tall and brown and still. It's hard somehow to let go of my pain. On past the busted back of that old and rusted Cadillac that sinks into this field collecting rain. Like I literally drove past that scene. Like I stopped and took pictures of it on that road trip. Like, so
Wow.
I'm listening to this song. Um, like, will I always feel this way? So empty, so estranged. I looked my demons in the eyes. I laid bare my chest, said, do your best to destroy me. I've been to hell and back so many times. I must admit you kind of bore me. There's a lot of things that can kill a man. There's a lot of ways to die. Yes, and some already did and walked beside me. Uh, It's a sad song. It's called Empty, but there is a beauty in it too. And I think no song better encapsulates the feeling for me of what it was like to be 24 years old. It not only spoke to like what I felt, but there's a question in it. Will I always feel this way? So empty and so estranged. It's like a heart cry. And these musicians have done something beautiful and putting into music and putting into words just things that are really honest. And I think that song feels pretty raw. And but again, there's just a beauty in it too. Yeah, I just love the song. I think it is literally one of the most beautiful songs that has ever been written. It's a sad beauty, and it's matched by the next song, which I would say this too. So let's get into Foy Vance. Be the song. This is the answer in some ways. Musically, this is the answer to the question of empty. Empty is like I feel broken. I feel lost. I feel estranged. I feel like hollow inside. Will I always feel this way? Within a couple of years of like that song really being sung, not just by Ray LaMontagne, but by me, this song enters into my life, and there's a turn in my life, and I begin to hear like an answer to that prayer being sung kind of over me. I've always heard this song, Matt, as like the voice of Jesus in my life. When inner scars show on your face and darkness hides your sense of place, like I'll be your song. And then there's this call and response to this, like where the chorus of Be the Song is flow down all my mountains, fill all my valleys. Flow down all my mountains, fill my valleys, flow down my mountains, fill my valleys. And it's that sort of that sense of like the emptiness is going to be filled. Like the valleys, like those dark and low places of your life, like they're going to be filled with song, and they're going to be filled with love, and they're going to be filled, yeah, just with presence. And it is just Empty is a beautiful song. This one, I think, matches it in its beauty, and in some ways it's even more beautiful than Empty, um, because of what's actually being communicated to me and in my life. And this is one of the most important songs, honestly, in my life, for the reasons I've mentioned. Yeah, I love to share it with you.
Yeah, like what you said. It kind of makes sense to me. Like this is your story. There's this tragedy or this impactful moment in your life that prompted you to like pursue like Outward Bound or leaving the East Coast, and you start your journey. You start your wanderlust. You start wandering around, and you're driving around. And this song, Empty, for me, yeah, and I don't want to tell your story, but for me, like this song is incredibly tragic and sad, but there is this like resilience in it because the singer is
Hmm.
still singing, like it's almost like somebody who is yeah, being incredibly honest but not giving up, you know, because it's almost like past tense, this song. It's really, really beautiful. I guess it's not a past tense, will I always feel this way, but there is this hope that's in it. And maybe for you, John, the hope, that prayer was like what you said was answered in this Foy Vance song, which is just
Well, yeah,
absolutely
it's
incredible.
funny when you create this playlist, and it's interesting this exercise of like showing up to this jukebox and like picking out 10 and like listening to them almost in conversation with one another, like how these songs kind of converse with each other.
If they all have this common theme, like I'm sensing this theme also in your life too, like longing from the beginning and family, actually, even before that, like family music and hearing the sense of longing, but then also fun, but then finding your way kind of as a young adult and then as an adult and hearing these musicians speak to you in words or sing to you in the same words that your heart was singing to you the whole time. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So
Um,
what's your next track then?
so Noah Gunderson, who's next on the list with this song Ledges, I love the heart with which he sings and just the honesty that with which he writes. And I think this is again, it's just one of these songs that I think just captures my heart a whole lot, right from the get-go. Like I got a lot of loose ends. I've done some damage. I've caught the rope so it frayed. I'm looking for a steady hand. Here I stand in the lands of the rocks and the valley, trying to be a better man for you. And again, if you put this song in conversation, we just heard Boy Vance talk about filling valleys. And it's like you've got Noah talking about singing, I stand in the land of the rocks and the valley. trying to be a better man for you. And here, the you is that voice that was singing over me. You know, this song really is another one of those. Just this is kind of like praying with your eyes open, man. When you sing a song like this, I don't think like Ledges is not my favorite album of Noah Gunderson's. That would be a later one if this is the end. Which I think is a masterpiece of his. But this song, I think is probably one of the most personal to me that he's ever written. And I just think knowing his story and just knowing my own and a song like this just really hits close to home. So
So this song, you're saying this song is important to you just because of what it's saying, not necessarily like a moment in time for you or a place, but just similar to
all
the
of
Foy Vance song. It's just
yeah, I mean all of these songs there is a chronological order to them. I mean like paying attention to my life, Empty precedes Be the Song, and then Be the Song precedes a song like Ledges. There's a further development and just kind of like the journey that I'm going on and the kinds of conversations that I'm having internally with God, friends, with family, like which for me, like the idea of like faith has always been the idea of like connecting into someone who knows the way. That idea of like looking for a steady hand for me is like I'm looking for someone who can catch me if I fall. I'm looking for someone who can like keep me on belay. And I think when you know that you live life on belay, like you actually have the courage to keep climbing. I've made choices and I have the propensity to make choices that put me in situations where it's like I need help. I need rescue. I need I need someone who can catch me when I fall and can like give me courage to keep going. So I just feel like this song captures that.
amazing.
Vance Joy is the next. So at number 8, Mess is Mine. I've always heard this as like a wedding song. This mess was yours, now your mess is mine. I've had the privilege of getting to officiate a few weddings, and I almost always I don't know if I've quoted the song at every wedding that I've officiated, but almost every wedding that I've officiated, and every couple that I've kind of gone like through like some sort of like premarital counseling with, um, I've probably quoted at least this imagery or like this illustration of like when you marry somebody, you're buying their messes. Like it's this idea of like this mess was yours, now your mess is mine. And I don't know if there's a better way of communicating like I love you without saying the words I love you than this. This is like the greatest way of communicating I love you without actually saying I love you.
Yeah,
It's
it's like I want, like I love you for the beauty and the ugliness and the messiness of it. Like
the I yeah,
I get the whole
it's
thing. I want all of it. Yeah.
it's a song that is it's great for marriage, but again, I hear this song as like that same voice from Coy Vance, the Be the Song, like singing this to me too, you know. I can hear Megan sing, my wife singing this to me, but I can also hear like Jesus singing this to me.
That's
And
beautiful,
that's
man.
yeah, when somebody sees your scars and sees the brokenness, sees the ugliness of your life and still says yes, you're like, and it's like, I don't want just like the good parts of you. Like I want all of you. Like your mess is mine. Like that is like, that's love, man. That's the sound of love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. May we all find that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Track 9, Stable Song, Gregory Alan Isakov, one of my favorite artists of all time. I would listen to this song long nights, like when my daughter Willow would wake up and it would be my turn to kind of soothe her. And sometimes I would go in there with like my phone in my pocket and I would from time to time I would play this song as I would just stand there in her nursery room, just kind of rocking her to sleep. It almost has like a lullaby quality to it. You know, that gave this song new meaning to me. I've always loved this song, but I think the reason I went back and forth on which one to pick, but I think just there's two things that I was like, yeah, this is the one I want. I think it is just the fact that I listened to this song a lot, kind of rocking my baby girl to sleep in her room when she was still like easy to hold in my arms. But then this summer we saw Gregory Alan Isakov at Shelburne Museum, and this song came on, and I put my 10-year-old girl on my shoulders, and she watched him play this music and listen, and we listened to the song, and now she wasn't in my arms, she was on my shoulders, like listening to it. That was a special moment. Those moments imbue this song with just a lot of special meaning and significance for me.
Yeah.
So
Especially for you and her together.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this song connects me. Like I mean, I had said at one point, like, this is the kind of song I would want to date, like on Willa's, like on her wedding day. Like, this is the song I'd like to dance, with her to. And I think I still might believe that. It's a beautiful song.
It sounds like the last two songs, these songs are important because of now of other people in your life,
Yeah, the
there's,
the last two have different.
yeah,
They're special for different reasons.
yeah, I love that. I know Willa, your daughter is your oldest, and it's very same with me. I have my firstborn as a daughter, and there's something, Matt, it's just something incredible about dads and like their firstborn being a little girl, and the relationship that you get to have as you're kind of figuring it out as a dad, like going through all the stages and learning how to be a good dad, but also learning how to be a good dad to like this precious, sweet little girl that's growing up. And I have songs that I would carry my daughter to and sing when she was a baby, and um, they mean a lot to me because of those, and they have nothing to do with baby girls, it just has to do with, they're just great songs that remind me of my daughter, and what a precious memory. Yeah.
Well, we've this has been a big part of our conversation, but listen how that song begins. It says, "Remember when our songs were just like prayers, like gospel hymns that you called in the air. Come down, sweet reverence, unto my simple house and ring and ring."
What else needs to be said? That's amazing.
Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing? Yeah,
I didn't realize it started like that until you just said that.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, we got one more, I think.
Bro, so this is a
We're
little
number
nod to
10.
you. Yeah. Honestly, I mean that. This song will always connect me to you. It connects me to my son too, but uh when I think about Electric Indigo, this song, in some ways, this was my answer to your Red Earth and Pouring Rain. We were on a fishing trip, and you picked me up, and I stepped into your car, and you were playing uh Bears Den, Red Earth and Pouring Rain. I'm like, what is this? This is so good. And that became just a song that I mean, I can't hear that song and not think about you. But I remember I was like, it felt like I found my answer to your Red Earth and Pouring Rain. I was like, dude, this song right here was was sort of like
Oh, yeah.
my answer to that. And this song just definitely reminds me of the last few years of my life. I'm just like, I just feel like this is kind of like the vibe that I want, that my life kind of does have. I think it's just it's been good. It reminds me of fishing with you. I think my kids really like, they hear this song and they're like, this is Dad's song. I remember it wasn't long ago. I was riding with JB. JB's my 4-year old son, and we had the song on, and the windows were down, and he said to me, and this is his way of kind of saying I love you without saying I love you. He said, "We're guys." And it just is like, yeah, just when my 4-year old son just says to me like, yeah, we're guys. Like, it's like we're in this, like we're together. We're a thing. When he said to me with that song playing, it was just like, it was perfect, man. So,
Well, thank you for saying that because I know this song because of you. You're the one that sent it to me. And I remember
mhm.
when you did. And I remember that fishing trip as well. Well,
So
I'm honored that I have a song that makes you think of me. And man, what a playlist. And I think about, I know you've mentioned before, like thinking about all these songs in conversation. You're a kid hearing this song about the wilderness. You feel this longing to be out on your own, or maybe not on your own, but just out. Most time when you're in the wilderness, right? Like you're alone or away from civilization. You start to experience that a little bit, and really like you need that longing in high school with the Verve, and then you start to have some fun. But then like life happens, right? And parents split up, you go through this change, you're longing now for people. Like there was a time in your life you're probably longing for, I need to break the mold and get away from everything. Fast forward to the present, like all these songs, these last couple of songs have been about these important people in your life. Like the music that meant something to you about getting away and exploring, even though that's still good, it's these last couple songs that remind you of these beautiful people in your life, your wife, your God, your daughter, your friends.
yeah,
What an amazing story that you
yeah,
have and you've just shared with
JB
us.
and Willow.
Yeah, JB, Willa, for sure.
No, I appreciate you retelling it, and yeah, just listening well and giving an opportunity. Just, I mean, it's a real gift that you're giving us here, Matt, and with the Mel's Diner, inviting us to show up like this, and this has been a treat to show up to Mel's, and I appreciate, yeah, your hospitality in it.
But man, John, I mean, I want to thank you for coming on. This was amazing. I have the pleasure and the fortune of like knowing you personally and having a lot of memories and a lot of songs that I share, with you and memories with you. But I just want to thank you just from the bottom of my heart from coming in today. I mean, I hate to tell you that your fried chicken might be getting cold, but
It's freezer cold.
it's I couldn't
I
find
talk too
anything other
much.
than bok choy at this point, but
No,
no, but man, it's been.
this milkshake's amazing though.
Let's just have some chocolate milkshakes. Yeah, cue up the jukebox. So listen to these, brother. Man, seriously, thank you, man. I'll take any excuse to hang out with you. And this was like, it couldn't get much better than this. So
I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
I
Yeah.
love you too, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for visiting Mel's Diner today. We love serving you those very important stories and songs, and we really hope you become a regular. If you or someone you know would love to be on the show, please reach out to me. Mel's Diner Jukebox at gmail.com. And a playlist of all the songs that were selected from the jukebox today can be found in a link in the show notes. And now, as we listen to each song through the lens of those amazing stories, we share in the connection that we just built through the power of great music and incredible people.